189 Spine Road. The traffic is fairly calm now, but this is the main road connection between Ashington and Newcastle. At peak times, this road can get very congested. Cars slowed to a crawl and it can take a long time to get anywhere. Often the cars have only one person in them, which adds to the congestion. So what do? Keep building more and more roads for more and more cars? Perhaps there is an alternative. We are here at Widdrington Station. At Widdrington and Cramlington and even little towns like Pegswood, people are able to travel to Newcastle to work or shop on the train. These towns are lucky. They're on the main line between Edinburgh and London, where frequent passenger trains share the lines with the goods trains. There are no traffic jams on the trains, and the number of people each train can carry means less impact on the environment. Passengers are more relaxed and travel in comfort. They can even get on with some work or play games on the journey. Sounds good. But the train tracks don't go everywhere. This old map at Morpeth Station tells a story. Our region, like the rest of Britain, was connected by a major rail network. In the 60s, there were major cuts and most of the rail links have disappeared. In our region, the network survived, but the stations like this one at Bedlington are disused. Let's go to another station to find out more. We are in Ashington today, and behind me is what's left of Ashington's railway station. The line here is regularly used by trains taking coal to the power station at Linemouth. But there isn't any reason why passengers couldn't, one day, be waiting here to board a train taking them directly to Newcastle. Let's ask the people of Ashington what they think of the idea.
I think it would be a brilliant opportunity to bring the travel back for trail anyway, because it'll just be good for, like I say, the community, and people can get to different places where quite now we're restricted.
I think it's a great idea. I think it'll bring more people into Ashington, which is what it's needed.
Well, I think it's ideal, especially when you're disabled, because you could take your scooter in them.
I think it's a good idea because it'll be quicker to get to places and it joins you up to the rest of the country. So I think it will be very positive.
I think it would be a wonderful thing. I really do, yes.
Oh, I think it would attract a lot of people. I think since the railway line closed the last time, I think places like Blythe and Ashington have been cut off when the trains stopped running.
I've got to get to Morpeth to use the train if I want to go, and it's not really convenient.
For a day out it would be much easier because I don't drive, so it'd be much easier just to come to the local stop and catch the train.
Well, I'm going to Newcastle College soon, and taking the train would certainly reduce the time by a lot.
I think it would be a very, very good idea. Very good idea.
It would make quite a big impact on my life, actually.
I think it would attract, if you have that extra link with Newcastle, it would make it possible for people who couldn't afford housing in Newcastle to live in Ashington, and they could commute. So I think the economic benefits for Ashington would be fantastic.
It would take us in different directions, wouldn't it? And see different things as well.
Got a bus pass, but I would still use it to get to Blythe and places like that, yes.
So we've seemed to have a positive response from the people of Ashington. Let's speak to the local Wansbeck MP, Ian Lavery, to find out what he thinks of the idea. Mr Lavery, what do you think about the idea of bringing passenger rail travel to Ashington?
I think it's absolutely fantastic. It'll give people the opportunity to come in from different parts of the northeast, integrating with other forms of transport so they can actually get to Ashington, to Wansbeck, to southeast Northumberland, the likes of Woodhall Museum. Wouldn't it be fantastic? We'll get more tourists in the area, so it's a fantastic thing.
Do you think a rail link will be beneficial for the future of the town?
It'll be really beneficial because it means that people again can... We've got high rates of unemployment, for example. It'll give people access to other parts of the northeast. It'll connect them up to the major cities in the area whereby they can look for employment there, and they've got no problems in terms of accessibility. So allowing people the ability of access of transport from here to the city is really important.
Do you think it could have any long-term benefits for the region?
I think it'll have massive long-term benefits because of the economy. It means that people can come to the southeast of Northumberland. As far as the region's concerned, it can only be mega beneficial.
What moves have been made to get this underway?
There's been discussions with the partners. SENRUG have been a great campaigning group. the Northumberland County Council, the rail users, everybody have come together at this point in time. I've met with the Secretary of State for Transport, with the ministers in Parliament to try and pull together a programme to ensure that this actually happens. And I'm confident for the first time that this will happen.
If passenger trains did come back to Ashington, would you use them?
I would use it almost every week. It would be great for people. Again, it would mean that ordinary people could get into the city and people from the city could get into our wonderful area by offering people the opportunity of transport to actually get here, to get them into the centre of the town. Would be fantastic. You know, a lot of people try to talk this wonderful area down, and I'm not one of them. I want people to come in and see actually what we have got here.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
The South East Northumberland Rail User Group have been campaigning to open a passenger rail travel to Ashington for a number of years. We were lucky to be able to catch up with Dennis Fansett, the SENRUG chairperson, and we asked him about the campaign.
Well, SENRUG is a voluntary pro-rail campaign group, and we ask for improvements to rail services in South East Northumberland. So getting the Ashington, Blythe and Tyne line reopened is just one of the things we're campaigning for.
What have you done to publicise your campaign?
Probably the biggest thing we did was about 5 years ago in 2008 we chartered a train, and it ran right through here to Ashington. We had lots of people on board, including lots of county councillors and people from the local district councils as they were at the time, and that really helped everyone to understand that it would be such a simple thing to get the line reopened.
Do you think it could have any long-term benefits for the region?
I'm convinced it will have long-term benefits, and the key thing is it will provide access to employment. The more people we can get access to jobs, the more money it brings into the area, because they have more money to spend and they'll be able to use it in these local shops around here. So it will help regenerate Ashington and the other towns the line serves.
Why not just extend the metro? Why trains?
Well, extending the metro has been looked at, but between Northumberland Park and Newcastle there's another 13 metro stations. They would have to slow down and stop for each of those 13 stations, which means here in Ashington, if it was a metro, it probably wouldn't be any faster than the bus.
Would passenger rail from Ashington be cost effective?
Well, all local rail services in the country, wherever you are, they all make a loss. So I'm not trying to say it would run profitably, but what I do think is the benefits that would be produced for the amount of subsidy the government would have to pay would be very, very cost effective.
When would you like to see passengers rail services running?
Next week, but that's not very realistic. Actually, it is a working track. Freight trains run on it at the minute. I think the council was saying it could happen as quickly as 4 or 5 years. The actual engineering work to do it really should not take very long. We believe that trains can run on the tracks as they stand today. It's really not a big problem.
Do you have any other points you'd like to raise?
Yes, obviously we're standing here in Ashington, we're just overlooking the station, but we think the line should extend on to Woodhorn. There never was a station at Woodhorn originally, but we think by putting a station at Woodhorn now, it will bring passengers into the Woodhorn Museum, which is an absolutely brilliant tourist attraction. We need to be shouting out about it a bit more, and having a train service there will help more people get there.
Mr. Fansett, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
The people of Ashington, our local MP and a representative from SENRUG have all been very positive. It would make a huge difference if the railway lines were up and running. It's only common sense to use these. Is this how we want them to end up? Unloved and abandoned?